This is unbelievable. All the white people of Macomb gathering around here with their families, using the persecution of an innocent man as an excuse to celebrate. Man, especially the white man, is delusional. They say they want to live a life their God would be proud of. But all white nations despise all colored nations, of whatever hue, and oppress them when they can. Let's see how this plays out inside the courthouse.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
Mr. Robert Ewell,
That's my name, Captain.
are you the father of Mayella Ewell?
Well, if I ain't, I can't do anything about it now. Her mom's dead.
Are you the father of Mayella Ewell?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ewell, tell us what happened on the evening of November 21st.
I was coming in from the woods with a load of kindling, and just as I got to the fence, I heard Mayella screaming like a stuck hog inside the house.
What time was it, Mr. Ewell?
Just before sundown. Well, I was saying, Mayella was screaming like
Yes, she was screaming?
she was raising this holy racket, so I dropped my load and run as fast as I could up to the window, and I seen that black man yonder attacking my Mayella.
Ha! Of the Christian English usage, they wouldn't be saying that if they knew anything about their God. They get these teachings from their Bible. For one, this Bible noticeably lacks in originality, but it also contains a wealth of obscenity and upwards of 1,000 lies. They will sit there and swear on this book to keep them honest. But the whole thing is just made up to manipulate them into doing God's will. All the world hates the Jew and will not endure him except when he is rich. Well, Ewell is like that too here in Macomb. He's not rich, he's not educated, and so nobody sees a use for him. Mr. Ewell, did you see the defendant attacking your daughter?
Yes, I did.
You said you were at the window?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a clear view of the room?
Yes, sir.
How did the room look?
All slung about, like there was a fight.
What did you do when you saw the defendant?
I run around the house to get in, but he run out the front door just ahead of me. I saw who he was, but I was too distracted about Mayella to run in after him. Mayella was in there squalling, so I ran in the house.
Then what did you do?
I run for heck tape quick as I could. I knowed who it was all right. Passed the house every day. Lived down yonder in that black nest. Judge, I've asked this county for 15 years to clean out that nest down yonder. They're dangerous to live around, besides the value of my property.
That's all. Thank you, Mr. Ewell.
Just a minute, sir. Could I ask you a question or two?
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Ewell. Folks were doing a lot of running that night. Let's see. You say you ran to the house, you ran to the window, you ran inside, you ran for Mr. Tate. Did you, during all this running, run for a doctor?
Wasn't no need to.
Didn't you think the nature of your daughter's injuries warranted immediate medical attention?
Never called a doctor in my life. If I had, it would have cost me $5. That's all the questions?
Not quite. Mr. Ewell, you heard the sheriff's testimony, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you agree with his descriptions of Mayella's injuries? Her right eye blackened, that she was beaten around the...
Yeah, I hold everything Tate said.
He said her right eye was blackened.
I holds with Tate.
Mr. Ewell, can you read and write?
Objection. I can't see what the witness's literacy has to do with the case. It's irrelevant and immaterial.
Judge, if you allow the questions plus another one, you'll soon see.
All right, but make sure we see Atticus. Overruled.
Will you write your name and show us?
I most positively will. How do you think I sign my relief checks?
Would you write your name for us clearly now so the jury can see you do it?
He's left-handed.
That's it.
What's my being left-handed have to do with anything? He's trying to take advantage of me. Ticking lawyers like Atticus Fish taking advantage of me all the time with their chicken ways. But it don't change what I saw, and I'll say it again. I saw that black man.
That's all, Mr. Ewell.
This Ewell is the epitome of what I mean when I say man is foolish. Even he believes the Creator is proud of him. He even believes the Creator loves him. Man is an experiment that God observes for his own entertainment. I always hear him questioning whether they were even worth the trouble it was creating them.
Do you love your father, Miss Mayella?
Love him? What you mean?
Is he good to you? Is he easy to get along with?
He does tolerable, except when...
Except when?
I said he does tolerable.
Except when he's been drinking? When he's riled, has he ever beaten you?
Answer the question, Miss Mayella.
My paws never touched a hair on my head.
Did you scream at your father instead of Tom Robinson? Is that it? Who beat you up, Tom Robinson or your father? Miss Mayella, what did your father really see in that window? Why don't you tell the truth, child? Didn't Rob Ewell beat you up?
I got something to say.
Do you want to tell us what happened?
I got something to say, and then I ain't gonna say no more. That black man yonder there took advantage of me, and if you fancy fine gentlemen don't want to do nothing about it, then you all yellow-skinned stinking cowards. Stinking cowards, a lot of you. You fancy heirs don't come to nothing. Your Mammon and Miss Mayella Aaron don't come to nothing, Mr. Finch.
I call Tom Robinson.
Sorry, sir.
That's all right, Tom.
Do you swear the evidence you're about to give us is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
You're Tom Robinson, 25 years of age, married with 3 children, and you've been in trouble with the law once before. A 30-day sentence for disorderly conduct. What did that consist of?
Got in a fight with another man. He tried to cut me, but it wasn't much. Not enough to hurt.
You were both convicted?
I had to serve because I couldn't pay the fine. The other fellow paid his.
Were you acquainted with Mayella Violet Ewell?
Yes, sir. I had to pass her place going to and from the field every day.
Whose field?
I work for Miss Link D's.
You passed the Ewell place to get to work. Is there any other way to go?
No, sir. None's I know of.
Tom, did she ever speak to you?
Why, yes, sir. I tipped my hat when I'd go by, and one day she asked me to come inside the fence and bust up a shiffer robe.
When did she ask you to chop up the shiffer robe?
Mr. Finch, it was way last spring. After it broke up, she said, I reckon I'll have to give you a nickel, won't I? And I said, no, ma'am, there ain't no charge. Then I went home. That was way over a year ago.
Did you ever go on the place again?
Yes, sir.
When?
I went there lots of times.
Under what circumstances? Why did you go inside the fence lots of times?
She'd call me in. Seemed like every time I passed us by yonder, she'd have something for me to do. Chopping, kindling, toting water for her.
Where were the other children?
They were always around, all over the place.
Would Miss Mayella talk to you?
Yes, sir. She talked to me.
Did you ever at any time go on the Ewell property? Did you set foot on the Ewell property without an express invitation from one of them?
No, sir, Mr. Finch. I never did. I wouldn't do that, sir.
Tom, what happened to you the evening of November 21st?
Mr. Finch, I was going home as usual that evening, and when I passed the Ewell place, Miss Mayella were on the porch like she said she were. It seemed real quiet-like, and I didn't get quite know why. She called to me to come up there and help her a minute. Well, I went inside the fence and looked for some kindling to work on, but I didn't see none. And she says, nah, I got something for you to do in the house. The old door off its hinges. I said, you got a screwdriver, Miss Mayella? She said she had. Well, I went up the steps and she motioned for me to come inside. I went in and looked at the door. I said, Miss Mayella, this door look all right. Those hinges was all right. Then she shut the door, Mr. Finch. I was wondering why it was so court-like. And it come to me that there weren't a chill on the place. Not one of them. And I said, Miss Mayella, where the chillin'?
Go on, Tom.
I said, where the chillin'? And she says, she was laughing, sort of. She says they all gone to town to get ice creams. She says, took me a slap year to save 'em up nickels, but I done it. They all gone to town.
Tom, what did you do then?
I said something like, why, Miss Mayella, that's right smart of you to treat 'em. And she said, you think so? I don't think she understood what I was thinking. I meant it was smart of her to save like that and nice of her to treat 'em.
I understand. Go on.
I said I'd best be going. I couldn't do nothing for her, and she says, oh, yes, I could. And I asked her what, and she says to just step on that chair yonder and get that box down from on top of the shift robe.
Not the same one you busted up?
No, sir, another one. Most as tall as the room. So I done what she told me to do, and as I was reaching, when she grabbed me around the legs, Mr. Finch. She scared me so bad I hopped down and turned the chair over. That was the last thing, only furniture disturbed in that room, Mr. Finch. When I left it, I swear for God.
If only he knew his swearing to God wouldn't do him any good. No prayer of man's has ever been answered.
What happened after you turned the chair over?
Answer the question.
When I got down off the chair, she sort of jumped at me.
Jumped? Violently?
No, sir. She hugged me. She hugged me around the waist.
Tom, what did she do then?
She says she never had her arms around a grown man before, and she might as well start with me. She says, hug me back. I say, Miss Mayella, let me out of here, and I tried to run, but she got her back to the door, and I had to push her. I didn't want to harm her, Mr. Finch, and I said, let me pass, but just when I say it, Mr. Ewell yonder hollered through the window.
What did he say?
Something not fitting to say, not fitting for these folks in Chillin to hear.
Tom, you must tell the jury what he said.
He says, you damn slut, I'll kill you.
Then what happened?
I was running so fast, Mr. Finch, I don't know what happened.
Tom, did you attack Mayella Ewell?
I did not, sir.
Did you harm her in any way?
I did not.
Did you resist her advances?
Mr. Finch, I tried to, without being ugly to her. I didn't want to be ugly. I didn't want to push her or nothing.
Let's go back to Mr. Ewell. Who was he talking to?
He were talking and looking at Miss Mayella.
Then you ran.
I sure did.
Why did you run?
I was scared, sir.
Why were you scared?
Mr. Finch, if you was black like me, you'd be scared too.
This is a strange place, an extraordinary place, and interesting. There is nothing resembling it at home. This Atticus seems to be one of the lucky humans. His high and fine characteristics submerge the evil ones, deeming him a good man in the eyes of God. His children, Jem and Scout, or at least what I saw of them in the courtroom, seem to indicate that they will follow in Atticus's footsteps. The same for Tom Robinson, too. But the others, Mr. Gilmer, Bob Ewell, and anyone else in that town touched by the Maycomb disease, are representatives of the bad men God created. They discriminate and they lie, yet they see nothing wrong with what they do. The problem is, God made them that way.